Hello and good morning everyone. I welcome you all to India's largest e-learning platform, Unacademy, and I welcome you all to GATE Conqueror channel. This is Antenna's CTQ series. Concept through question series. We are into part 18. We are into part 18, dear. Everyone please confirm the video and audio once. Everyone confirm the video and audio once, dear. Everyone confirm the video and audio. Yes, dear. Everyone try and confirm the video and audio once. Before we start the class, let me introduce myself. I am G Reddy, having 15 plus years of experience in teaching, guiding and mentoring students preparing for competitive exams. I work as motivational speaker pan-India from the past 12 years, expert in field theory and communications. And this is the official link where you can join us on GATE Conqueror channel. There's a Telegram link for the same. Advantage of joining us on Telegram is that you get a personal level assistance from all the faculties of our team. The good thing that recently happened is 4 new educators joined our channel. Now we are 8 educators will teach you in English. No bilingual, dear. Complete concepts will be in English only. I can say our channel is the largest channel for EC and electrical for English speaking. Because you can't find 8 educators speaking in English, and the channel is dedicated only for English speaking. And we are determined to finish GATE 2023 and ESE 2023 syllabus comprehensively. We'll finish it comprehensively. And I take the responsibility to finish EMFT for ECE for both the exams, GATE and ESE. EMF for triple E for both GATE and ESE. Communications for ECE for both GATE and ESE. Communications for electrical, definitely. What's the rank? Puvizik Kannan. Okay, gate score is okay. What is the rank? AR. Communications, for electrical, for engineering services. Advanced communications. For EC, for engineering services. I take the responsibility to finish off these 5 subjects here, and we are well ahead of time. Already we are cruising through EMFT, completed EMF, completed around 70% of EMFT. Very soon we'll finish EMFT and EMF so that we start communications and then advanced communications. Four 4196. Very difficult. I would say it is very difficult here. With 4196 it is difficult. NITs you can, yeah. NITs you can. 4196 is difficult for any reservation that you have. Yeah, you can try. That's my suggestion too. When is your passed out, dear? When you had completed your B.TECH? Are you recently passed out or? If you can tell me the year, 2015. Good going. Are you into teaching? Are you into teaching, dear? Yes, 2015. Okay, got it. No, you are working. Okay. Then how do you prepare? I mean, how many hours you prepare? Okay, you work part time, it's okay, but how many hours you prepare in a day? 4 to 5. Okay. Good going, good going, good going. Don't be disappointed, dear. You'll definitely get 2-digit rank. Don't worry. because what I see in in your preparation is consistency. If you are having consistency here, you will succeed. No need to worry. No need to worry. Definitely you can succeed. But I will give you one advice, dear, because you are doing a part-time job. I give you one advice. What you do is, you do repeated revision. Do you know what is repeated revision? Do you know what is repeated revision? Yeah. That is a pattern that will help you. Repeated revision pattern you do, you'll get more success. Of course, you can do it through short notes also. Repeated revision is something like you should read only one subject at a time. You should read only one subject at a time in repeated revision. For example, today you are prepared for 4 to 5 hours. Whatever you are read for 4 to 5 hours, you might have gone through a class, written short notes, solved problems, whatever you have done in these 4 to 5 hours, you are prepared for 4 to 5 hours today. Only one subject, okay? Only one subject. Next day, when you are preparing for 4 to 5 hours again, first you need to revise day 1 concept completely. First you should revise the day 1 concept completely on day 2. For doing this, it will take 2 hours. First time repetition, no, it will take half the time. Don't think that you are wasting the time, okay? Day 3, again prepare for 4 to 5 hours. Now again you prepare day 1 and day 2. That means you start from day 1, complete day 2, then come to day 3. It will take 2.5 hours. Don't think you are wasting 2.5 hours, okay? Next 4 to 5 hours on day 4, you repeat day 1, day 2, day 3. Still it will take 2.5 hours only. Still it will take 2.5 hours only. Now you, on days 20, you will repeat all these days, still you will get 2.5 hours only. I did this practically. Within 2.5 hours you will finish. If you prepare in this way, it is time consuming. It is time consuming. But it is like approximately, if you prepare 30 days for a given subject, half of the day is revision. It is equivalent to 15 times revision. And the total time that you spend is 3 times. But 15 times revision will happen and your concept will become very, very strong. try it out on one subject. If you feel good, you can go for next subjects also. This is because this is very much useful for students who are working. Because you are working, this pattern will help you out. You can happily do your work without any extra thinking on education. But when you start preparing, you do the revision. You try for one subject. 130 days you take one subject and try. You'll understand the results. From day 3 or day 4, you'll understand the results. Repetitive revision, why I said, because daily revision, daily you are doing revision. Otherwise what we do is we study completely, then we'll start revision. That is suitable for college going students who dedicate their complete time for preparation. For them, completion of subject followed by revision is recommended. For students who are working already, repetitive revision will work out. Is that clear? Unacademy offers 2 paid platforms. One is Plus, the other is Iconic. In Plus subscription, you got to have the face time of legendary faculties in the form of live classes, weekly test, structured courses, unlimited access, rank improvement batches. Please make a note that rank improvement batches are not separately charged here, which is included within the Plus subscription only. Crash courses. With Iconic, you get all the features of Plus. Along with that, you get a personal coach for one-on-one guidance, dedicated doubt clearing educators to clear your doubts within 24 hours, preparatory study material, personalized test analysis, study booster sessions, and study planner. Study booster sessions and study planner. For both Plus and Iconic subscription, I would recommend you to go for a no-cost EMI, where total cost will be divided by number of months and valid for 6 months and above subscription. Please make a note that this no-cost EMI is valid for only 6 months and above subscription, not below 6 months. And what is no-cost EMI is, the total cost will be divided by number of months without any extra cost. It is very much student friendly, dear. You can use our code KNR10. This is our team code which gives you extra 10% off. And there is a special offer going on. Today you will get 20% off. I'll explain about that. This is Unacademy Goal, to which you get 20% off. And this offer is extended till April 30, that is today. Today is the last day where you can get 20% off on all the subscriptions. use our code KNR10 for the same. With iconic subscription, you get 1:1 live mentoring, increasing your chance of getting a top rank. Take your preparation to the next level. With GATE and ESE iconic subscription. What are iconic benefits? You get personal coach and 1:1 live mentoring, online study material, priority in Ask a Doubt, live doubt solving sessions, study booster sessions or workshops, priority in live classes using raise a hand, open house with educators, community learning, and all plus subscription benefits. Definitely, with iconic subscription, you will be taking your preparation to the next level. Free physical notes are available for GATE iconic 1 year and above subscription, curated under the mentorship of top educators, which has comprehensive syllabus coverage, solved example to build problem solving skills, available for EC, electrical, mechanical, civil, and computer science. The notes will be dispatched from the first week of July. Crack 2023 or 2024 with Unacademy Lite subscription. Lite subscription is about mock test, as I told you. In order to succeed in any competitive exam, good amount of practice is required. And this practice will get through mock test. In Unacademy Lite subscription, we get topic and subject wise mock test. It's very, very important to write mock test subject wise, and wonderful if you write topic wise. You get lot of expertise. Access to structured test series, detailed solutions and performance analysis. Always remember, when you're writing mock test, the lesser is the syllabus, more expertise you get. Try to write mock test of smaller levels, like topic wise, group of topic wise, subject wise, multi-subject wise, then the complete exam. Is that clear? This Unacademy Ask a Doubt feature available on app and website. You can ask 3 doubts at a go. Get your solution. I'm trying to hide it for 1 second here. Get your solution in your preferred language. Also very easy to ask your doubt. Just click, crop and submit. So we are here, dear, to clear your doubts. Always be free. Feel free to post the doubt at any time. To get in touch with our counselor, if you are having any doubts or confusion about preparation journey, queries about subscription, or you want to know about the latest offers, you can dial all 8 5s and contact our counselor. They'll definitely help you out in guiding you. You can use the team code KNR10 for the subscription. These are special class features, which includes interactive live classes, polls for the learners, raise a hand option. You never miss a class when the notification is on. You download the lecture note then and there. You can access anytime and anywhere. These are the new batches, dear. Ascent batch for GATE 2024 for electrical, Explained Bilingual started April 20. Ascent batch for GATE 2024 for ECE. Explained Bilingual started April 20. Evolve batch for GATE 2023 Electrical Bilingual started April 20. Evolve GATE 2023 for ECE Explained Bilingual started April 20. For all this, you can use our code KNR10 to get extra 10% off, and today it is 20% off. And you can see, as I told you, 4 new educators added to our GATE Conqueror team, and from the 8 members of GATE Conqueror team, you can see we have the legendary K.N. Rao sir, we have Sharma sir, Shyam sir, we have Ram Mohan Reddy sir, we have the very talented Archit sir, we have the very experienced Rama Rao sir. All these are available in Plus or in paid courses, and all these are available on GATE Conqueror. That's why I tell you that the GATE Conqueror is a very strong channel now, where you have some excellent faculties, excellent resources who will help you in your preparation. We are into antennas, CTQ series, and this is part 18. As you know, this antennas is part of EMFT, and I told you that I had already covered a reasonable amount of syllabus on EMFT, and of course EMF we completed the complete syllabi. EMFT, we will have 5 modules. In which module 1 is elements of EMF theory. It's common for ECE and electrical. For electrical people it is complete syllabus. For ECE it is one of the 5 modules. And I covered it for both GATE and ESE. I covered it for both GATE and ESE. You can please go to the playlist. Playlist is already available on our GATE Conqueror channel with 40 videos and 50 hours of content. 50 hours is a very big number, dear. Because 50 hours is a very huge number. For elements of EMF theory, maximum content that you can get will not be more than 10 hours. Maximum, I'm saying, or you take any YouTube channel. Maximum content they provide on any YouTube channel will not be more than 10 hours. Already 10 hours is like some kind of exaggeration. Okay. But against that, here on the GATE Conqueror channel, only module 1 we have 50 hours of content. That is why I say we cover it comprehensively, believe it. We just don't say that we cover comprehensively, but we do cover comprehensively. And it's a unique feature of our YouTube channel. You'll never find comprehensive coverage of syllabus on any YouTube channel. Except this, the GATE Conqueror. See here, numbers will speak. You have playlist already that is being designed. We took the live classes and the playlist has been created. You can verify our channel to verify our numbers. You can verify all these numbers, dear. Module 2. is EM wave propagation. Module 2 is EM wave propagation, which is for EC, covered for both GATE and ESE. Almost like in elements of EMF theory, I pulled out some 70 to 80 derivations. 70 to 80 derivations only for elements of EMF theory. Just you can imagine. It's the best platform where you can rely on if you're preparing for ESE 2. And my teaching style will be in such a way that I don't teach separately for GATE and ESE. The same content will be useful for GATE and ESE. GATE students will avoid the derivations and all. This EM wave propagation, we covered 90% of the syllabus, created the playlist, with 15 videos and 30 hours of content. Module 3. Is transmission lines. We need to cover it. Still not done. Module 4. Module 4 is waveguides. Still we need to start that. Module 5 is OFC and antennas. Optical fiber communication and antennas. For this I'll take create a separate playlist with 8 to 10 hours of content. Coming to antennas, we covered antennas in antennas Maha Marathon series like never before. I can say that this particular playlist is a one-stop solution for all the antenna concepts, because we covered everything, like even the 7 sisters, like folded dipole, Yagi-Uda, helical, microstrip array, horn, parabolic reflector and lens antennas, along with the antenna measurements, measurement of gain, measurement of directivity, even the methods like orange slice, conical cut methods have been explained, including resonant and non-resonant antennas. In wave propagation, we had seen the principal modes of propagation, special modes of propagation, derivation for refractive index, derivations for least usable frequency, maximum usable frequency, critical frequency, skip distance, optimum working frequency and all. We had seen exclusively about ionospheric abnormalities, their causes, the effect on ionosphere, effect on frequencies, cutoff frequencies, maximum usable frequencies. So all that analysis we have done. Especially wave propagation part won't be covered generally. Against that, here we took 18 videos with 38 hours of content. So total playlist available for GATE and ESE. Of course, there are so many playlists available which are practice playlist. Exclusively for GATE and ESE, there are three playlists available. One on module 1 with 50 hours of content. Next is on module 2 with 30 hours of content. Next is module 5 with 38 hours of content. Total 118 hours of content is there here. And I like to add 1 or 2 hours more to this, making it a 220-hour course. 220 is very, very big deal. Generally, on any YouTube channel, EMFT will be from 30 to 40 hours. That's it. Against 30 to 40 hours, I am giving you 220 hours here. You can prepare for both GATE and ESE from the same playlist. Out of 220, 118 covered this. Therefore, I said minimum 60% in the form of number of hours is completed. 60% of EMFT is completed. EMF completed completely for electrical people. Because EMF subject is just module 1 with some extra topics that already I included in the playlist. And if I finish this, EMFT concepts will be done. Then I can start communications. The most important communications. Is that clear? Is it clear, dear? Thank you. Module 1 elements of EMF theory. Module 1 is elements of EMF theory. Common for EC and electrical. As I told you, we covered the playlist covering both GATE and ESE exams. We covered both GATE and ESE. We have created a playlist. With 40 videos and 50 hours of content. What we covered in module 1, elements of EMF theory, is these elements of EMF theory is very important because in this 12 to 13 hours only basics will be there. And these basics are very, very important for you to understand EMF properly. It has three parts into it, three sections into it. Section 1, basics. Section 2, static field theory. Section 3, time varying field theory. Under basics, we have two parts here. One, elements of vector calculus, where we deal with terms like scalar, vector, unit vectors, addition of vectors, multiplication of vectors, vector identities, and so on. The second part is coordinate system. So let us see what we covered under elements of vector calculus. Elements of vector calculus. Under this we discussed a scalar quantity, what is scalar here? What is scalar? What is scalar here? A scalar is a function which has only magnitude but no direction. A scalar is a function which has only magnitude, no direction. Examples of scalars: voltage, current, power, work done. All these are scalars. Physical examples: mass, distance, time, speed, and so on. That's about scalar, and a scalar is represented by capital letter. This is how we represent a scalar. Clear? Next is vector. Which has both magnitude and direction. And most of you will get confused that why current is scalar. Please refer the playlist here. I discussed about the same thing. Why current is scalar. Just type why current is scalar. And you can see in the playlist the explanation for why current is scalar. Even though current is having magnitude and direction, it is a scalar quantity. Why so? Is because of the definition of vector. Because a vector is one which has both magnitude and direction, and it obeys vector addition. And current does not obey vector addition here. Why it does not obey? What happens? Everything I had explained in this concept called why current is scalar. And vectors are force, torque, displacement, dipole moment, velocity, acceleration, and so on. The vector is represented by a capital letter and arrow on it. Next is unit vector. Unit vector always gives you the direction of vector. For example, if you take Cartesian coordinate system, coordinates x, y, z, the direction along the x-axis given by ax, direction along the y-axis given by ay, direction along the z-axis given by az. Therefore, ax, ay, az represent the direction along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Similarly, a rho, a phi, az are directions along rho, phi, z respectively. Similarly, ar, a theta, a phi are directions along r, theta and phi. And we define the unit vector of any given vector A as vector by its magnitude. Because we know that a vector is something which has magnitude and direction. The direction of the vector A is given by the unit vector. A is vector by its magnitude. Is that clear? Okay. Then we went for addition of vectors, in which we had seen parallelogram law, head to tail rule. Head to tail rule is also called as triangular law. What is parallelogram law of addition of vectors dear? If A and B are two arms of a parallelogram, the resultant vector C is equal to A plus B is the diagonal of the parallelogram. If A and B are two arms of a parallelogram, then the resultant C is equal to A plus B is the diagonal of the parallelogram. This is when angle is not given. If A and B are two arms of a parallelogram, the resultant C is equal to A plus B is the diagonal of the parallelogram. If you take the reverse one here, this is B and this is minus B. A and minus B are two vectors. The resultant vector D is equal to A plus or minus B, which is A minus B. This is for the vector A minus B dear. Next is head to tail rule or triangular law. If A and B are two arms of a triangle such that the head of vector A joins the tail of vector B, then the resultant vector starts at tail of A and ends at head of B. This is called in simple triangular law. If A is a vector and B is a vector such that the head of A joins the tail of B, then the resultant C is equal to A plus B. Starts at tail of A and ends at head of B. This is head to tail rule here. And current does not obey head to tail rule. Therefore, even though current is having magnitude and direction, it is treated as scalar. For example, if you take the current quantity here, this is IA and this is IB. Total current at this point is IA plus IB. Now if you take a reverse vector here, this is one vector A, one more vector B. Instead of C in this way, if you take this way, now you drop, this is IA, this is IB, this is IC, therefore this is minus IC. IC is IA plus IB. Minus IC, reverse the direction. I reverse the direction, minus IC. Minus IA, minus IB. Now when you short circuit this, what is the current that you get here? At that point it is short circuited. At that point, how much current you will get here? It is short circuited. Therefore, you are expecting that maximum current will be there here. But if you check now, the total current at this point is IA plus IB minus IA minus IB. The cancel off, it is 0. I must get maximum, but I got minimum, 0. I must get short circuit condition, but I got open circuit condition. That's why I say even though current is having both magnitude and direction, you cannot call it as a vector. Current is a scalar. Why I explained here. Is that clear? That's about scalar, vector, unit vector and addition of vectors. Next is basic laws. Next are basic laws for addition and multiplication. Basic laws for addition and multiplication. What are the basic laws, dear? Addition and multiplication. Basic laws, commutative law. Can anyone tell me about commutative law? Commutative law. If A and B are two vectors, A plus B is equal to B plus A. This is commutative law of addition. According to commutative law of addition of vectors, then A and B are two vectors, then A plus B is equal to B plus A. Commutative law of multiplication, if K is a scalar, K into A is A into K. This commutative law of multiplication. This is associative law. If A, B, C are three vectors, A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Associative law for addition. Associative law of multiplication, if K and L are two scalars, K into LA is equal to K into L into A. It's associative law of multiplication. Next is distributive law. Distributive law. K into A plus B is equal to K plus KB. Distributive law of addition. Can anyone tell me what is distributive law of multiplication? Distributive law of multiplication. Distributive law of multiplication. Think of it. A and B are two vectors. A plus B is equal to B plus A. Commutative law of addition. K is a scalar, A is a vector. K into A is A into K. Commutative law of multiplication. Associative law, A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Associative law of addition. K is a scalar, L is a scalar. K into LA is K into L into A. Associative law of multiplication. Distributive law, K into A plus B is equal to Ka plus Kb. Distributive law of addition. What I am asking is, what is distributive law of multiplication? Distributive law of multiplication does not exist. This is a frequently asked interview question. Frequently asked interview question. What is distributive law of multiplication? Not defined. That's why you must be very thorough with the basics. Frequently asked interview questions. Two questions we have dealt today. One, why current is scalar? Even though the current is having both magnitude and direction, it does not obey vector addition. Therefore, the special case where current is scalar. And every quantity is said to be a vector quantity if it has both magnitude and direction and it obeys vector addition. The second question we covered is distributive law of multiplication does not exist. It does not exist because multiplication concept is already used in distributive law of addition only. It does not exist. Too frequently asked interview question. Both are very tricky questions, dear. Now that you know the concept, it looks very simple for you. But in reality, they are very difficult questions. And we have finished addition of vectors and subtraction of vectors. And for multiplication of vectors. Multiplication of vectors. So multiplication of vectors. In multiplication of vectors, we have seen dot product, are also called as scalar product. And cross product, also called as vector product. In dot product, or scalar product, if A and B are two vectors, then dot product of these two vectors A dot B is given by, what is A dot B here? Hi Vignesh, how are you? Hello Vignesh, how are you? You are from which college, dear? You are which college? You are from which college, dear? Hey, what happened? You are typing two times. Each response two times. Okay. Tamil Nadu. You said some college, no? Okay. Give me 1 second here. You are not present, I think. Wait 1 second. Did you join the Telegram group, dear? Okay. Okay, happy? Done? Did you got it? So no worries, no worries. Vignesh, please respond. You got it? Thank you. Noted? Is it noted? Noted, saved? Noted and saved? Okay. Done, my work is done. Huh? Fine, sorry, I was very busy. I was occupied with some other works. Fine. So anyways, that is done. That is done, don't worry. And if A dot B, one second here, if A and B are two vectors, one second, yeah. If A and B are two vectors, A dot B is equal to mod A, mod B, cos of theta AB, where theta AB is the angle between A and B. The resultant is a scalar. Dot product of two vectors is a scalar quantity. Therefore, we call dot product as also called as scalar product because it is resulting in a scalar quantity. As it is resulting in a scalar quantity, it is also called as scalar product. As I told you, theta AB is the small angle between A and B. And this is a formula that you need to use when angle is given. If angle is not given here, if it is given like A is equal to AX plus AY plus AZ, B is equal to BXAX plus BY plus BZ. Then A dot B is given as element by element multiplication. A dot B is given as AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. This is the dot product here. A dot B is equal to AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. When angle is not given, when angle is given, A dot B is equal to mod A mod B cos of theta AB. The first one is when angle is given. The second one is angle is not given. That is for the dot product here. Now when you go for the cross product, let us see how to work out with cross. So the first formula, A dot B is mod A mod B cos of theta AB. This is when angle is given. And where theta AB is a small angle between A and B. When angle is not given, A is AX plus AY plus AZ. B is BXAX plus BY plus BZ. A dot B is equal to AX BX plus AY plus AZ BZ. This is when angle is not given. Similarly, let us see that this dot product follows how many basic laws? Does it follow commutative law, dear? Does it follow commutative law? It does follow commutative law. A dot B is equal to B dot A. Whether they are equal, dear? Are they equal? A dot B is equal to B dot A. It follows commutative law and they are equal. If it follows associative law, A, B, C are three vectors, then A dot of B dot C must be equal to A dot B dot C. A dot B dot C. But is this equal is the question. Because B is a vector, C is a vector. Dot product of any two vectors is a scalar quantity. Then once you get a scalar, you cannot do dot product between vector and a scalar. Not possible. This operation is not possible. Therefore, it does not follow associative. Distributive. A dot of B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. Please verify it. It will be equal. Therefore, dot product obeys commutative law and distributive law. That's the conclusion. Okay. Next is cross product. Are also called as vector product. If A and B are two vectors, A cross B is equal to mod A mod B sine of angle between them into AN. It's mod A mod B sine theta AB is the magnitude and AN is the direction and AN is the direction. This is when angle is given and theta AB, as I told you, is a small angle between A and B. The angle is not given. Given that A is AX plus AY plus AZ. B is BX plus BY plus BZ. Now when angle is not given, A cross B is, you'll get A cross B by determinant. Det of Ax, Ay, Az. Coefficients of the first vector Ax, Ay, Az. Coefficients of the second vector Bx, By, Bz. This is when angle is given and this is when angle is not given. Again, in detailed explanation with examples and so much of analysis, especially for cross product. Everything is done in the playlist here. You can just go through it. Now also let us see which laws it will obey and which it will not. Does it obey commutative law? If it obeys commutative law, A cross B must be equal to B cross A. It is not equal. It does not obey commutative law because it is not equal. A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. It is anti-commutative. And this minus B cross A can be written as minus of B cross A. This is called property of determinant. According to property of determinant, if a constant or scalar is multiplied to one of the elements of the cross product, you can take it common. If it is multiplied for both, then you should take the product of it. For example, K is a scalar or constant. K into A cross B will be K into A cross B. You can take that out of the determinant. You have like this K A cross B, then I can write this K outside. That is what you do, am I right? Similarly, A cross KB will also be equivalent to K into A cross B. KA cross KB, if you have multiplied for both 2 times you take common. So K into K, K square times of A cross B. It's property of determinant. So it is anti-commutative. Next, does it obey distributive? Tell me dear, does it obey distributive? Distributive. If it obeys distributive, A cross of B cross C must be equal to A cross B cross C. It is not equal, so it does not obey distributive. Sorry dear. Associative. It obeys distributive, it is associative. Associative. I thought associative is done. If it is obeys associative, A cross of B cross C must be equal to A cross B cross C. They are not equal, so it is not associative. Distributive. A cross of B plus C must be equal to A cross B plus A cross C. Distributive. Yes, it obeys distributive. Cross product obeys only distributive. Again here just I am trying to cut short and explain it. For in detailed explanation, you please refer to the playlist here. For in detailed explanation, please refer the playlist. Then we went for del operator. Del and its properties. Del is given by reverse of delta. Cartesian coordinate system, it is given by dou by dou x of ax plus dou by dou y of ay plus dou by dou z of az. Del is also called as vector differential operator. Also called as spatial derivative operator. Vector differential operator or spatial derivative operator. It is called vector differential operator because it is having the vector and it is doing differentiation. Therefore, it is called vector differential operator. Spatial derivative operator because it is doing derivative with respect to space coordinates x, y, z. Therefore, it is called spatial derivative operator. That's del here and the properties of del. Del operated with a dot product over a vector. It is given by del dot A. It is called as divergence of A. As del is a vector, A is a vector. Dot product of two vectors is a scalar. Divergence of A will give you scalar quantity. Gives you a scalar quantity. If this divergence is 0, A is said to be divergence-less vector. Are also called as solenoidal vector. It is called divergence-less vector or solenoidal vector. This divergence is positive. A is called as source. This divergence is negative. A is said to be sink. That's for divergence here. And if del is operated over a vector using cross product, del cross A is read as curl of A or the rotation of A. Del is a vector, A is a vector, del cross A. Curl of any vector or orientation of any vector is a vector quantity. If that orientation is 0 or rotation is 0, then A is said to be irrotational vector. A is called as irrotational vector. If it is not equal to 0, then A is said to be rotational vector. The first property, this is the second property. Third property, when del directly operated on a scalar, you read it as gradient of scalar. Gradient of scalar is always a vector quantity. Gradient of scalar is always a vector, is always a vector quantity. Now if you try to relate this to our subject, del dot A is 0, then A is divergence-less. This can be related to del dot B is equal to 0 from non-existence of magnetic monopole, implying B is divergence-less vector. A is source, del dot A is positive. Del dot D is equal to rho V. Gauss law. Rho V is source. Del dot D is minus rho V. Minus rho V is sink. Charge will start on positive charge and end on negative charge. They move radially outward from positive charge. Thereby the positive charge acting like a source. The end on negative charge, thereby the negative charge acting like a sink. Is that clear? Okay, is that clear? One second here. Yes. Then if you relate this del cross A is 0. Del cross E is equal to 0. Static electric field is irrotational. They move in straight lines. Del cross A not equal to 0 from Ampere's law. Del cross H is equal to J. H is rotational vector. Gradient of scalar is a vector. Example E is minus del V. See, properties of del are very closely related to the subject again. Got it? Then we had seen the vector identities. Divergence means del dot. Divergence of curl of any vector. Curl is del cross is 0. Curl of gradient of any scalar is 0. These are called vector identities. And of course in the playlist we discuss more of this common vector identities. Here I am trying to revise, so I am trying to remit to the most important vector entities. Divergence of curl of any vector is 0, curl of gradient of any scalar is 0. That was the first part. Elements of vector calculus. Then in this we discussed about coordinate system. Coordinate system, discussed about types of coordinate system. A Cartesian coordinate system, Cartesian is also called as what, dear? Cartesian is also called as what? Anyone? Cartesian. Cartesian is also called as what? Cartesian coordinate system is also called as rectangular coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate system is also called as rectangular coordinate system. Coordinates x, y, z. It's a cylindrical coordinate system. Are also called as circular coordinate system. Coordinates rho phi z. Next is spherical coordinate system. Next is spherical coordinate system. Coordinates r theta phi. If you consider these coordinate systems, Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical, Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical coordinate system, Cartesian coordinates x, y, z, cylindrical coordinates rho phi z, spherical coordinates r theta phi. Can you tell me the range, dear? What is the range here? What is the range? What is the range? X moving from minus infinity to plus infinity. Y same minus infinity to plus infinity. Z same minus infinity to plus infinity. What is the definition? X is defined as the distance on x-axis, the distance parallel to x-axis, or the shortest distance from yz plane. Y is defined as the distance on y-axis, distance parallel to y-axis, the shortest distance from xz plane. Z is defined as the distance on z-axis, distance parallel to z-axis, the shortest distance from xy plane. Similarly, rho is defined as the radius of the cylinder. Range, radius cannot be negative, therefore 0 to infinity. Phi is defined as the azimuthal angle. It is angle from x-axis to rho, and rho is the length defined in the xy plane. 0 to 2 pi. Again, for detailed explanation, please go to the playlist here. Z is here the height of the cylinder, moving from minus infinity to plus infinity. 2 points you need to note down here. 1, height cannot be negative, but here I got minus infinity to plus infinity. The logic here is height is not an absolute quantity. Height is a referred quantity. We try to compare. Height is a comparable quantity. Therefore, when you take the origin at the center, for example, you take the height of this pen, which is for example 8 centimeter, it can be 0 to 8 centimeter if the origin is here. It can be, if the origin is here at the center, it can be minus 4 to plus 4 centimeter. What is the height again? 4 minus of minus 4, 8 again. If the origin is here, 0 to minus 8 centimeter. What is the range? 0 minus of minus 8, 8 centimeter again. Height value is same in all the cases. In the first case, it is 8 minus 0. Second case, 4 minus of minus 4. Third case, 0 minus 8. 0 minus of minus 8. In all the cases, the height is same. But it is a reference quantity. That's the first thing. Second, when you move from one coordinate system to the immediate successive coordinate system, only 2 coordinates will change, not 3. And once the range defined in any coordinate system, the range won't change. The definition may change. Here Z is nothing but the distance on the Z-axis, distance parallel to Z-axis, or shortest distance from XY plane. In cylindrical coordinate system, Z is the height of the cylinder. The definition, the context is completely changed. But the range won't change. Range once defined won't change. Remember this. Range once defined won't change. Range once defined won't change there. Is that clear? Range once defined won't change. Now coming to spherical coordinate system. R is the radius of the sphere, 0 to infinity. Theta is the co-altitude angle. Angle from z-axis to r in the elevation plane, that is the yz plane. We find as 0 to pi, it's the cone angle. Maximum angle is 180. 0 to pi. Again, so much of detailed explanation I had given. Please go to the playlist for understanding why exactly it is in this way. Phi is azimuthal angle 0 to 2 pi. As I already told you, once you move from one coordinate system to another, only two coordinates will change and the unchanged coordinate range won't change. It will be same. Range once defined won't change. Then we got point transformation. Converting a point from one coordinate system to another coordinate system. Cartesian to cylindrical. Cartesian coordinates x, y, z. Cylindrical rho, phi, z. How to convert? Do it here. How to convert this? Do it. Do it here. Cartesian to cylindrical. Cartesian XYZ, cylindrical rho, phi, z. Rho, phi, z. Z there is no change. X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis, origin, unit vector along X-axis AX, unit vector along Y-axis AY, unit vector along Z-axis AZ. If you take a point now, the distance from origin to that point, this line is in the XY plane. This point is in the XY plane. So the distance in the XY plane is rho, radius of the cylinder. Because cylinder is always placed like this. Cylinder is always placed like this in the Z-axis. It is placed along the Z-axis. So if you see from top, this lid of the cylinder is in the XY plane, on which rho is defined, the radius is defined. Therefore, radius is always defined in the XY plane because height is along Z-axis by default. Got it? This is Y, distance parallel to Y-axis or distance on Y-axis. This is X, distance on X-axis or distance parallel to X-axis. Angle from X-axis to rho, this is phi, azimuthal angle. This is opposite side, adjacent side. This row is hypotenuse. This row is hypotenuse. So from Pythagoras, hypotenuse square is side square plus side square. From this row is under root of x square plus y square. From the diagram, tan phi, opposite by adjacent y by x. Phi is tan inverse of y by x. It is Cartesian to cylindrical. Now, cylindrical to Cartesian. I want x, y, z. I have rho phi z. Z is z, no change. How to find the other quantities, dear? Apply cos phi. Adjacent side by hypotenuse. From this, x is rho cos phi. Apply sin phi. Y by rho. From this, y is rho sin phi. This is Cartesian to cylindrical and cylindrical to Cartesian conversion. Cartesian to spherical. Cartesian to spherical. What happens in Cartesian to spherical, dear? Cartesian to spherical. This distance on the z-axis, distance in the yz plane. This distance is r. And if you draw a parallel line like to this row, if you draw a parallel line, this is also rho. This distance on z-axis by definition is z. Z-axis to r, the angle is theta. The angle is theta. Clear? Cartesian to spherical. R theta phi. R is, this is R, this theta, this is opposite side, this adjacent side, this is projection 90 degrees, this is hypotenuse. Applying Pythagoras, hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square, but rho square is x square plus y square, therefore x square plus y square plus z square. This is one way you can do this. Or you can use the distance vector formula. This is 0, 0, 0. This x comma y comma z. This is x1, y1, z1. This is x2, y2, z2. Vector r is x2 minus x1 ax, xax. y2 minus y1 ay, yay. z2 minus z1 az, zaz. The mod of r, which is r, is under root of x square plus y square plus z square. This is the second method. We are using the distance formula or the distance vector formula. R is under root of x square plus y square plus z square. From this tan theta is rho by z. Rho is under root of x square plus y square. Therefore theta is tan inverse of Rho is under root of x square plus y square by z. Phi is tan inverse of y by x. Spherical to Cartesian. I want x, y, z here. Already we know x is rho cos phi. If you are able to write rho, which is cylindrical coordinate, in spherical coordinates, your task will be done. You can see this is opposite side here. Therefore, sin theta is equal to rho by z. Sin theta is equal to opposite side. Rho by hypotenuse is r. Therefore, from this you can write rho is equal to r sin theta. From this you can write rho is equal to r sin theta. Replacing it here, x is equal to r sin theta cos phi. All are spherical coordinates. Y is rho sin phi. Rho is r sin theta sin phi. And z is opposite, adjacent side, applying cos theta. Cos theta is z by r. Z is r cos theta. That is Cartesian to spherical and spherical to Cartesian. Point transformation. Then we had seen unit vector relations. What are unit vector relations, dear? What are the unit vector relations that we got? What are the unit vector relations that we got? In Cartesian coordinate system, unit vectors are ax, ay, az, cylindrical a rho, a phi, az, and spherical ar, a theta, a phi. The interrelation between these things is given in unit vector relations, dear. Please refer the playlist. Very lengthy derivation has also been done, useful for engineering services. 2-hour class it is. We have done a 2-hour class on just unit vector relations, dear. Please go through it. Writing differential length, differential surface and differential volume in all 3 coordinate systems. Differential length, if we take in Cartesian coordinate system, can be written as dx ax plus dy ay plus dz az. Differential surface, dy dz ax, dx dz ay, dx dy az. Differential volume, dx dy dz. That is for Cartesian, dear. And how you got this? Why the generalized form is in this way? Everything I explained. in the playlist here, please go through it. Cartesian coordinate system. If you take cylindrical, dl is d rho a rho plus rho d phi a phi plus dz az. ds is rho dz d phi dz a rho d rho dz a phi plus rho d phi az. Differential volume rho d phi dz. Similarly, in spherical coordinate system, dl is dr ar r d theta a theta r sin theta d phi a phi. ds is r square sin theta d phi ar plus r dr, or I'll write it as plus r sin theta dr d phi r sin theta dr d phi of a theta r dr d theta a phi, and differential volume r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. For this, we took a shortcut method here. We decreased these 9 formulas into 3. We took scaling factor, coordinate system, and parameters. Scaling factors h1, h2, h3. Parameters u, v, w. Cartesian coordinate system, coordinates x, y, z. Scaling factor, if it is length, you should write 1. For 1, 1, 1. Cylindrical coordinate system, coordinates are rho, phi, z. Rho is length, therefore 1. Phi is angle, you should write its radius rho. Z is length, therefore 1. Spherical coordinate system, r theta phi. R radius 1, theta angle, its radius theta, rho angle, its radius rho. Rho is r sin theta in spherical coordinate. Once you have this table here, we can write dl as h1 du au, h2 dv av, and h3 dw aw, and ds as h2 h3 dv dw au, h1 h3 du dw av, h1 h2 du dv aw, and dv is h1 h2 h3 du dv dw. For most of the students here, these formulas are very irritating. They don't remember these formulas. Very difficult to mug up or by heart. Now that Problem is gone because of this formulas now. 9 became just 3, and by practice this becomes very, very simple. Is that clear? Similarly, we have written formula for divergence. A is a vector, then del dot A is 1 by h1, h2, h3 dou by dou u of h2, h3 au dou by dou v of h1, h3 av dou by dou w of h1, h2, aw. This is the formula for divergence in all the 3 coordinate system. Similarly for curl, again 1 by h1, h2, h3, determinant of h1 au, h2 av, h3 aw, dou by dou u, dou by dou v, and dou by dou w. Scaling factor h1 au, h2 av, and h3 aw. This for curl here. And for del, 1 by h1 dou by dou u of au, 1 by h2 dou by dou v of av, 1 by h3 dou by dou w of aw. And if you write gradient del k, you need to add up the k, that's it. That is what we have discussed. Coordinate system. Then we went through static field theory. In static field theory, you went for electrostatics. In electrostatics, dealt with Coulomb's law, the generalized law that governs electrostatics. We have seen its applications over line charge, surface charge and volume charge. Then we have seen Gauss law, which is a special law which can be applied only on Gaussian surfaces. And Gaussian surface is one which is symmetric with respect to charge distribution. And we have seen its applications for point charge, line charge, surface charge and volume charge. Third one, we had seen electric potential. Also called as EMF. We have seen relation between E and V. On similar lines, started with magnetostatics. And in magnetostatics, we have seen the general law. The general law that governs magnetostatics, which is Biot-Savart law. And we had seen its application over line current. Then we had seen the special law Ampere's law. Ampere's law is a special law which can be applied only on Amperian paths. And Amperian path is something which is symmetric with respect to current distribution. And we had seen the applications or line current, surface current and volume current. Line current given by I, units ampere. Surface current given by K, ampere per meter. Volume current or current density given by ampere per meter square. Please make a note of the units dear. Students get confused in these units too often. Third is we had seen scalar magnetic potential. Just like kinetic potential here, we have seen scalar magnetic potential, also called as MMF, magnetomotive force given by Vm. Ampere turn per Weber is a unit. The problem with MMF is it cannot be defined everywhere in the region. Wherever there is sigma, MMF cannot be defined. Therefore, we went for vector magnetic potential. Vector magnetic potential is called as A, given by A. Then we have seen relation between A and B. You can see the similar lines. This is generalized law, Coulomb's law for electrostatics. Biot-Savart law, generalized law for magnetostatics. Gauss law, special law for electrostatics. Defined only on Gaussian surfaces, and Gaussian surface is one which is symmetric with respect to charge distribution. Ampere's law, special law for magnetostatics, defined only on Amperian path, and Amperian path is symmetric with respect to current distribution. This is electric potential, which is EMF, which is voltage, and voltage is responsible for electric field. This is scalar magnetic potential, which is MMF, which is current, and current is responsible for magnetic field. This is not defined everywhere. We defined two potentials, vector magnetic potential also. The relation between E and V, which is E is equal to minus del V. This relation between A and B, where B is equal to del cross A. Common topics that we have covered are work done and energy density, Poisson's and Laplace equations, boundary conditions, in electrostatics we have defined capacitors and types. Wonderful concept here. Here we define inductors and types. Capacitor is the one that stores electric field, and inductor is the one that stores magnetic field. These are the common topics we have discussed here. And concluded with Maxwell equations. Maxwell equations. Maxwell equations for static fields. Equation number integral form, differential form and source. Equation number 1, integral form, closed surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral of rho v dv. Differential form, del dot d is equal to rho v. Source, Gauss law for electric fields. Second, closed loop integral of E dot dl is 0. Differential form, del cross E is equal to 0. Source, conservative property of electric field. Third one. Closed loop integral of h dot dl is equal to surface integral of j dot ds. Differential form del cross h is equal to j. Source Ampere's law. Closed surface integral of B dot ds is 0. Differential form del dot B is 0. Source Gauss law for magnetic fields, also called as non-existence of magnetic monopole. Is that clear? That we discussed in static field theory. In time varying, modified these two equations. We derived continuity equation. Continuity equation del dot j is equal to minus dou rho v by dou t. This is from conservative property of charge. Version from Faraday's law. Since del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T. Only static electric field is conservative but not time varying electric field. Time varying electric field, spatial orientation of electric field depends on time varying magnetic field. It's in Maxwell contribution. Which you got del cross H is equal to J plus JD. J is equal to sigma E, conduction current density. JD is displacement current density coined by Maxwell. Here spatial orientation of magnetic field depends on time varying electric field. These two equations are source will be combined to form wave equation, also called as Helmholtz equation. It will explain how the wave propagates. It has del square E is equal to gamma square E. Del square H is equal to gamma square H. These are Helmholtz equations which you will get by combining these two equations. Gamma is the propagation constant. It's given by alpha plus j beta. Alpha is attenuation constant given in Nepper per meter. Beta is phase shift constant given in radian per meter. And gamma is given as under root of j omega mu sigma minus omega square mu epsilon. Clear? And finally we formed Maxwell equations for time varying fields. Equation number integral form differential form and source. Equation 1 as it is, as in static field theory, closed surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral of rho v dv. Differential form del dot d is rho v. Source Gauss law for electric fields. Second equation. Closed loop integral of E dot dl is equal to surface integral of minus dou b by dou t dot ds. Del cross E is equal to minus dou b by dou t. This is from Faraday's law. Closed loop integral of h dot dl is equal to surface integral of j plus jd dot ds. Differential form del cross h is equal to j plus jd. J is conduction current density, depends on sigma E. jd is displacement current density, depends on dou d by dou t, which is equal to dou d by dou t. This is from Maxwell contribution. From Maxwell contribution, are also called as inconsistency of Ampere's law. Fourth one, closed surface integral B dot ds is 0, implies del dot B is equal to 0. This is from Gauss law for magnetic fields, also called as non-existence of magnetic monopole. A magnetic monopole does not exist. This is Maxwell equation for time varying fields, and this is the synopsis for module 1. We'll come up with some more questions and we'll solve some more questions in the CTQ series in the next class. Till then, thanks for joining and have a great day. Please do not forget, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and share this class among the maximum and share the channel link among the maximum, so that we get maximum subscriptions and we get maximum views, so that it will be reached to maximum students. This wonderful content should not go waste. So please subscribe and share the class link to the maximum dear. Thank you all for joining.